Hoarding disorder is a serious mental disorder. It's characterized by an extreme clutter along with just like a mental inability to get rid of personal items. Kaiso and others explain that people think that you can just, clean out the house of a hoarder and it'll be done. However, there's so much trauma caused by the initial clean out that it causes rebound hoarding that's worse than the initial hoarding. Again, explained by Kaiso and others in 2020. And hoarders actually have trouble getting rid of items regardless of their value. So that's explained by Orr and others in 2019. So it is a mental disorder. So ultimately, in order to address this problem, I would call for the involvement of stakeholders, of mental health professionals, local government, and also first responders. And I'll explain the involvement of all three stakeholders. So I think the best way to address this issue is on a community level. First responders would be involved in cleaning out the hoarders' homes, just because initial cleanouts need to be done carefully because they pose issues in the community just because of like fire hazards and like air hazards as well. I think that mental support groups need to be created. This would be done by the local government and organized in the community. These support groups would involve the use of mental health professionals. So after initial cleanout was done, they could help manage the disorder just as issues come up. And mental health professionals will be involved, as well as members of the community who could actually understand hoarding disorder a little bit more, because Kaiso and others explain that although it's an issue for 2 to 4% of the population, few people actually seek help just because there's such a mental stigma surrounding this disorder. Ultimately, a diverse approach is needed to address this problem because it's such a complex disorder. However, I think that it can be managed better in communities if the issue is brought to light, involving more support of those with hoarding disorder, which can only be done by educating people about the disorder. So that's another key component of addressing this disorder, is just making it known to the general population that this is a mental disorder and that it's not something that is just a social problem that's, because people are weak or anything like that. I think that if communities work together, we can do a lot to address hoarding disorder.